Hello, here is the news of this hour from TSTV. I am Olaide Amosu. Here are some major headlines. Oyo trains youths from 6 local government areas on rural enterprises. LGAS to begin business sample census October 12th. 2.67 billion naira school feeding funding. SADIYA UMAR FAROUQ exonerates ministry. On the foreign scene, Togo appoints its first woman prime minister. Exciting over sports, ex-US captain DOOLEY applies for FALCONS job. Now the news in details. The Oyo State government has commenced other sets of training workshops to equip farmers and youths in agriculture and entrepreneurial skills. Youths and farmers from 6 local government areas of the state were trained on the Rural Finance Institution Building Program, FEEEDING, which was held at Ikoile in Owerri local government of Oyo State on Monday. In an address delivered by the acting permanent secretary of the ministry, Dr. Peter Adegunwa, said the training was aimed at ensuring the preservation of village savings and credit groups, instilling good credit management, appreciating the essence of financial planning and budgeting, among others. However, the state coordinator for Rufin, Comrade Emmanuel Olushola Ogudiran, enjoyed the participants and beneficiaries of the organized trainers workshop to attach importance to the program and make maximum use of it for the benefit. The Speaker, Oyo State House of Assembly, Honorable Adebo Ogudoyin, has assured that the 2021 budget will be used to finance and implement projects specifically requested for by the people of the state. This, the Speaker said, was in line with the promise of Governor Seyi Makinde's administration to always get the inputs of communities and residents of the state on projects to be executed and included in the annual budget. Honorable Ogudoyin gave assurance while leading the stakeholders consultative meeting on the year 2021 budget organized by the Oyo State Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning in Ivoora. He explained that the first budget of the state government was being used to finance and upgrade capital projects and infrastructures, as well as pay salaries and gratuities, among other things as requested by the people of the state during its consultations with them. The Speaker assured the residents of Ibarakba land at the stakeholders meeting that the request would further on rehabilitation of roads, upgrading of facilities in schools, hospitals, stadiums and markets, adequate security, empowerment and support programs for farmers, artisans, traders and youth will be given priority one after the other in the budget. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has yesterday commenced the processes that will lead to the replacement of manual voting with an electronic voting system. Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, the chairman of INEC, said this during the demonstration of electronic voting machines. Yakubu, in a statement, said over the years the Commission has been automating the critical pillars of the process, while the biometric register of voters has been updated continuously, adding that the combination of biometric voter cards, commonly known as the permanent voter card, and the smart card reader have revolutionized the accreditation of voters during elections. Yakubu, however, revealed that over 40 companies which indicated interest would demonstrate to the Commission how their IT solutions meet its specifications. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, SADIYA UMAR FAROUQ, has quashed allegation that the ministry was part of a 2.67 billion school feeding fund uncovered by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC). Reacting in a statement signed by her Special Assistant on Media and Publicity, Nneka Nkem Anibeze, FAROUQ argued that the federal government colleges school feeding is different from the homegrown school feeding, which is one of its social investment programs. She seized the opportunity to demand the publication of names, federal colleges and school heads whose names have been found to be associated with the missing funds, and also freeze the accounts where the said funds were diverted. The Statistician General of the Federation, Dr. Yemi Kale, announced yesterday while delivering a keynote address at the training of trainers for the National Business Sample Census NBSC 2020 in Abuja, said that the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) is set to commence National Business Survey after 22 years. Kale noted that information emanating from the census activity will be primarily useful in understanding the nature and structure of the economy, as well as providing a sound business frame for the conduct of economic surveys in the country. The exercise is set to be conducted every 5 years, as recommended by the United Nations Statistical Commission. Meanwhile, in Nigeria, the census has not been conducted for over 2 decades, mainly due to funding challenges. Kale, however, urged all the trainers and facilitators to kindly accord it the seriousness and commitment it deserves, stating that the Bureau was, as the apex statistical agency in the country, need to be at the fore in providing government with all relevant information to assist her in taking the right policy decisions, and this exercise is a very crucial part of that. Moving on to the foreign scene, Togo's President FAROUQ has yesterday named the first ever female Prime Minister, Victoria Sidemoho-Dobe-Tomeba, to head the government in the West African nation. Victoria, who is 60 years, replaces Komi Salon Kaloso, who resigned last Friday. She has served as his Chief of Staff since 2009. Togo had been due for a government reshuffle since Nasibe was re-elected in February for a 4th term in office, but the changes were delayed due to the coronavirus pandemic. However, the president's election win, which came after a constitutional change allowing him to run, extended more than a half-century of dynastic rule by the Nasibe family over the former French colony, and the president has led the country of 8 million people since taking over in 2005, following the death of his father, who ruled for 38 years. A law prohibiting households from mixing in any indoor setting is to be introduced in the most populous parts of northeast England on Wednesday. The Department of Health said existing local lockdown measures for Durham, Gateshead, Newcastle, North Tyneside, South Tyneside, Northumberland and Sunderland are being tightened at the request of the local councils in response to high and increasing infection rates. Current guidance only advises residents not to mix with people outside their household or bubble in indoor settings such as pubs and restaurants. The Department of Health says the guidance will now be enforceable and subject to fines, although the law will not apply to COVID-secure schools and workplaces. Moving on to exciting world of sports, Manchester United is in talks with Porto over a deal for Brazilian fullback Alex Telles. United manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said he wants to strengthen his options on the left and feels the 27-year-old will be a useful addition. Porto wants €18 million for Telles, who has 1 year left on his contract and could be signed without a fee on a pre-contract in January. Telles, who has won cap for Brazil, has scored 21 goals in 127 games for Porto. Former United States captain Thomas Dooley hopes to succeed Thomas Derby as the Super Falcons coach after he applied to manage the country's women's national team. The Falcons is said to have been without a coach since October 2019, when Swede Derby resigned from his post despite having a year left on his contract. Dooley represented the United States at the 1994 and the 1998 World Cups and was capped 81 times at international level by the Americans, despite being born in Germany. He believes that the Falcons possesses the talent to achieve greater success than they have. However, the Nigeria Football Federation president, Amaju Pinnick, had revealed last month that Phillips Consulting was contracted to recruit coaches for the Falcons and the youth teams. With that, we've come to the end of the news, a recap of the major news headlines. Oyo trains youths from 6 local government areas on rural enterprises. NBS to begin business sample census October 12th. 2.67 billion naira school feeding funding, SADIYA UMAR FAROUQ exonerates ministry. On the foreign scene, Togo appoints its first woman Prime Minister. Exciting on the sports, ex-US Captain DOOLEY applies for Falcons job. Please do not forget to always adhere to COVID-19 safety measures. The news was compiled by Mubola Fadekale, and I am Olaide Amosi. Good day, and thank you for watching.